Disclosure Day is no longer just a title whispered in industry circles or hinted at through cryptic marketing. It has officially entered the public consciousness, and with the release of the official teaser trailer, Steven Spielberg has once again reminded the world how powerful anticipation can be when it's built on mystery, emotion, and a deeply human question that refuses to go away. From the very first second, this teaser signals that this is not a typical science fiction spectacle designed only to entertain. It feels deliberate, restrained, and quietly unsettling, as if the film is less interested in dazzling audiences with overwhelming visuals and more interested in planting an idea in their minds and letting it grow, slowly and uncontrollably. The atmosphere is calm to the point of discomfort, showing everyday life moving along as normal, familiar streets, ordinary homes, trusted news broadcasts, the kind of normal that feels safe until you realize how easily it can be shattered. That sense of fragility becomes the emotional backbone of the teaser, and, judging by early reactions, likely the entire film. There's something deeply unsettling about how Spielberg opens this story, not with spectacle, but with routine. This is a world that looks like ours, sounds like ours, and behaves like ours. Nothing feels distant or futuristic, and that choice matters because it suggests that whatever's coming doesn't arrive from a far-off fantasy, but collides directly with the reality we recognize. The teaser quietly asks a terrifying question without ever saying it out loud. What if the most extraordinary revelation in human history didn't arrive with warning sirens and explosions, but slipped into our lives unnoticed, disguised as just another normal day? Emily Blunt's introduction is the emotional anchor that immediately pulls viewers in and refuses to let go. She appears as a trusted meteorologist, a familiar face that millions would invite into their homes without question, someone associated with reliability, routine, and calm reassurance. Her presence represents trust, and Spielberg understands exactly what he's doing by choosing that role for the film's first major disruption. In the middle of a routine broadcast, she freezes. Her eyes lose focus. Her breathing changes. Her voice shifts into something mechanical, something unnervingly wrong. The moment stretches just long enough to make the audience uneasy, and then it crosses a line into something genuinely disturbing. This isn't portrayed as dramatic or exaggerated. There are no flashing lights or sudden musical stings. It's subtle, intimate, and terrifying precisely because it feels plausible. Spielberg has always understood that true fear doesn't come from what we clearly see, but what we sense is wrong before we can explain it, and this moment captures that philosophy perfectly. Viewers aren't shown what's happening to her. They aren't given an explanation, a diagnosis, or a comforting cutaway. They're left suspended in uncertainty, forced to sit with the discomfort of not knowing. That choice alone sets Disclosure Day apart from most modern trailers. It doesn't rush to explain itself. It doesn't try to reassure. It allows silence and confusion to do the work, trusting the audience to feel the weight of the moment rather than consume it passively. As the teaser unfolds, the scope of the story slowly expands outward, moving from one unsettling incident to a ripple effect that spreads across the globe. Screens flicker, news reports overlap and contradict each other, emergency alerts interrupt normal programming. There's a sense of systems failing under pressure, not violently, but subtly, as if the infrastructure humanity relies on was never built to handle the truth that's emerging. No single explanation is offered. No authoritative voice steps in to clarify what's happening. Instead, the teaser allows confusion to reign, mirroring what humanity might actually experience if something world-changing were to unfold without warning or preparation. This slow escalation is one of the teaser's most powerful elements. It suggests that Disclosure Day is less about a sudden invasion or attack and more about an inevitable revelation, something that has been building beneath the surface for years, perhaps decades, and is finally forcing its way into the open. The tension doesn't come from action, but from inevitability, the feeling that whatever is happening cannot be undone, cannot be contained, and cannot be ignored any longer. Josh O'Connor's character emerges as a pivotal presence within this growing chaos. He isn't framed as a traditional hero with clear answers or a defined mission. Instead, he appears burdened, almost haunted by what he knows. When he speaks about the truth belonging to everyone, not governments or institutions, the line lands with real emotional weight because it echoes a frustration many people already feel in the real world. His delivery isn't triumphant or defiant, it's urgent, strained, almost desperate, as if he understands the consequences of disclosure, but believes silence has become more dangerous than honesty. This framing immediately raises moral questions that feel central to the film. Who gets to decide when humanity is ready for the truth, and what happens when that decision is taken out of their hands? The supporting cast deepens the intrigue without offering clarity, and that ambiguity feels intentional. Colin Firth's presence carries a sense of authority and tradition, suggesting a character rooted in systems designed to manage information, control narratives, and maintain order. His expressions hint at internal conflict, as if the rules he's lived by are no longer enough to hold the world together. Colman Domingo brings a calm intensity that suggests deeper understanding, someone who may serve as a bridge between panic and comprehension, or perhaps between humanity and whatever lies beyond it. Every character shown feels purposeful yet incomplete, revealing just enough to spark curiosity, but withholding enough to keep audiences guessing. Spielberg doesn't give viewers easy archetypes to latch onto. There's no clear villain, no obvious savior, no simple good versus evil framework. Instead, he offers fragments of people caught in an unprecedented moment, trusting the audience to wrestle with the uncertainty alongside them. This approach invites speculation about alliances, betrayals, hidden agendas, and personal motivations, turning the teaser into a puzzle rather than a preview. One of the most striking aspects of the teaser is what it refuses to show. In an era where many science fiction trailers reveal their biggest secrets up front, Disclosure Day holds back. There are no clear images of extraterrestrial beings, no dramatic shots of massive spacecraft hovering over landmarks, no definitive confirmation of what the truth actually is. Instead, the focus remains firmly on humanity's reaction, the fear, the disbelief, the anger, the denial, and the fragile, almost forbidden hope that something greater than ourselves might exist. This restraint feels mature and confident, suggesting that the film is less interested in visual spectacle and more interested in psychological and emotional impact. The teaser quietly asks profound questions without spelling them out. What happens to society when belief becomes certainty? How do governments respond when control slips through their fingers? How do individuals cope when their understanding of reality collapses overnight? These questions linger long after the teaser ends, turning the viewing experience into something reflective rather than consumable. The title itself grows more powerful the longer it sits in the mind. Disclosure Day doesn't sound like a movie title, it sounds like a date in history. It implies a before and an after, a moment that permanently divides time into two eras. It suggests inevitability, finality, and consequence. The marketing surrounding the film leans heavily into this idea, presenting the story as something that feels almost prophetic rather than fictional. This has fueled intense online discussion, with fans debating whether the film is inspired by recent global conversations about transparency, unidentified phenomena, and humanity's growing obsession with uncovering hidden truths. Whether intentional or not, the timing makes the teaser feel uncomfortably relevant. Steven Spielberg's involvement adds enormous weight to all of this. For decades, he has explored humanity's relationship with the unknown, often through lenses of wonder, innocence, and connection. Disclosure Day feels like an evolution of those themes, shaped by a world that has grown more skeptical, more divided, and more anxious. This isn't the wide-eyed curiosity of a child gazing gazing at the stars. It's the restless unease of a civilization unsure whether it truly wants the answers it has been demanding. The teaser suggests that Spielberg is grappling with that tension head-on, questioning whether truth is always liberating or whether it can sometimes destabilize everything we rely on. The pacing of the teaser is deliberate and almost meditative. Each image lingers just long enough to provoke thought before cutting away, creating a rhythm that feels more like a warning than an invitation. The music stays restrained and ominous, avoiding the triumphant swells typical of blockbuster marketing. It creates an undercurrent of inevitability, as if events are already unfolding and no force can stop them now. This restraint has been widely praised by viewers who feel overwhelmed by trailers that reveal too much too quickly, leaving no room for imagination. Public reaction has been intense and deeply engaged. Some viewers describe feeling chills. Others admit the teaser left them unsettled in ways they couldn't immediately explain. Many say they watched it multiple times, searching for hidden details, background clues, and subtle symbolism. Theories range wildly from extraterrestrial contact to mass psychological phenomena to something even more abstract, like humanity confronting an intelligence that challenges the concept of free will itself. This level of engagement is exactly what a teaser is meant to inspire, and Disclosure Day has clearly struck a nerve. Emily Blunt's performance has already become a central point of discussion. Even in brief glimpses, her ability to convey vulnerability, fear, and quiet resilience without melodrama suggests a character who isn't just reacting to extraordinary events, but internalizing them in a deeply human way. There's a sense that her experience may place her at the emotional center of the story, not as a chosen savior, but as an unwilling witness whose humanity reflects the audience's own fear and curiosity. As anticipation builds toward the 2026 release, Disclosure Day is positioning itself not just as a film, but as a cultural moment. It invites audiences to question what they believe, who they trust, and how they might react if speculation suddenly gave way to certainty. The teaser doesn't promise comfort, closure, or easy answers. Instead, it promises a confrontation with the unknown that feels grounded, emotional, and unsettlingly plausible. That promise alone ensures this film will be dissected, debated, and remembered long before it ever reaches theaters. Disclosure Day feels like a story designed for a world standing at the edge of discovery and denial at the same time, a world hungry for truth, yet afraid of its consequences. And if this teaser is any indication, Steven Spielberg is preparing to deliver a film that doesn't simply entertain, but lingers in the mind, challenges assumptions, and refuses to let go. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.